Hello, welcome to Falcon Blues TV, and it's very early, but I am getting up especially early for this. I'm joined by Everton legend, former Everton striker, Kevin Campbell. Kev, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it, mate.
No problem, Dave, no problem. It's an early one, but it's a good one.
Yeah, definitely. It's been about a year since we last met. I think you were at the club with us last March.
That's right.
So a lot of things have happened in the last year that have surprised us all. Really, I think. Yeah. So we'll jump straight into it, really, because I know you've got a busy day ahead of you. Everton and Arsenal are both in a massive transition period, what with the new manager coming in, really enough at exactly the same time. But what have you made of the progress of both teams?
I think both teams have made progress. I think let's look at Everton first, as it's an Everton pod. I think for once the manager, when the new manager came in, Ancelotti, everyone wasn't sure whether the club could actually get him. But the fact is, having a proven manager in the building, whose resume is as good as anyone in the world right now, he's a manager who the fans can't question. So that puts the onus on the players. And ever since Duncan Ferguson took over, Fergie has to take a lot of credit, Big Dunk has to. For changing the system to 4-4-2 and putting two up top. Calvert-Lewin's look better. Richarlison's look better. The team will look more solid. They look more aggressive. They've brought the 12th man in, which are the fans. And now in the league, the form guide, apart from the other lot across Stanley Park, Everton are the form team.
Yeah.
In the whole league, which is fantastic considering they're in the bottom three a few months ago.
Yeah, so, challenge for relegation. It was mad. It was just insane.
Exactly. So you look at now they're going for a spot in Europe, etc., etc. So a fantastic job's been done by Carlo Ancelotti and all the backroom staff. Obviously, put a bit of praise on Fergie as well, which is fantastic. The players have responded to the manager, and the manager's got that calming influence. And I think there's a feel-good factor about Everton right now, which is great. I think. On the other hand, with Arsenal have had the players, but the players haven't been performing. So Arteta's come in, and I think the first things he started to address is that defence and the team without the ball. I think that was the most important thing. The team are playing with a lot more energy now, and I think this 2-week break came in at the right time for Arteta, taking them away to Dubai, and getting some bits tied down. I think Arsenal are unbeaten in 11 or something like that. Yeah. But there's been probably too many draws, Dave. There's been too many draws in there. But now we're starting to turn it around. They've won a game or a couple of games on the bounce. So they're going to be strong. And, looking at this game, I'm sure we're going to get into it. Everton's record ain't great, is it, at the Emirates? So, but I like what both managers have done. They've addressed certain issues in the team. They've improved certain players. I mean, you look at Holgate at Everton. Holgate at Everton's going from strength to strength right now. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's going from strength to strength as well. And there's a few players who are actually performing. So, it looks good all round for both clubs. So it's interesting they meet now.
Yeah, it is. With the 2-week break, though, as well, it's also given an opportunity for Andre Gomez for his Lazarus-like return, if you want to call it that. And he's likely to be either starting or on the bench. What's your thoughts on that? Because I think that's incredible. A credit to the coaching staff, the physios, and everyone at Everton to get him back in less than 100 days.
Yeah, I think, look, there's a lot must be put on the player as well. The player wants to get back. Yeah. The backroom staff, obviously, the physios, I know quite a few of them, and they're very good. And, everything seems to have come together. But he's the one player at the club, I think, that the team really miss.
Yeah.
Because he can can pick a pass, he can control the tempo of a game, he can put his foot in. He's a fantastic all-round player that, is different to anybody else in that midfield. So I think, Everton have really missed him. Hey, testimony to him to come back.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw, Carlo Ancelotti mentioned that when he was out for 2 years, he wanted to play straight away. He didn't want to come off the bench because that was a lot harder. So that might be a little giveaway regarding Gomez. He might put him in for an hour. It's probably best to get him an hour of a game, and pull him out, as opposed to, be on the bench, and it's difficult to sometimes get yourself going. So that might be a prerequisite for what's going to happen.
You saw that when Seamus Coleman made his return, and his first game back, he played like he'd never been away.
Yeah,
and the crowd pulled him through that. I thought, because you thought it was just pure adrenaline.
Adrenaline, yeah. Look, I think Gomez has got the blue in him now.
Yeah.
After last season, he felt it, didn't he? He felt the Goodison, what it was like, the Goodison fans and stuff like that, that energy. So I truly believe he's going to start. I'd like to see him start, because I think it's going to be really important moving forward. He gets game time.
Definitely.
A lot of game time under his belt moving forward. Because, as I say, he is the one player who could really get into most teams in the Premier League. I think he's that good.
Yeah, brilliant. You mentioned as players before who were going from strength to strength, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Mason Holgate. But as striker to striker, what are you pleased with the progress that Calvert-Lewin's made this season, which has just been, from last season he struggled to get the goals. Now he's chipping in, as well as doing what he did last season, which was being energetic, making a lot of runs, bringing the team into it. But now he's brought goals into his game.
Yeah, I think that it's a masterstroke by Duncan Ferguson. I got to be honest with you. Dominic Calvert-Lewin had all the energy, was running channels, he was doing so much work. But when the crosses were coming in the box, he wasn't in the box at times.
Yeah.
And, that it's difficult for a young player to play up front on his own. It really is. But what Fergie realised was, actually, I could play two and would be a bit more solid. Now the workload is shared. He's got a partner up there. So when his partner's starting to set play up wide, he's the one who's going to be getting into the box. And we saw a prime example against Burnley on Boxing Day, where the cross came in and he was the first one to react. He got across, got a nick on his header, and he went in, won the game 1-0. And that shows he's starting to make a difference.
Yeah, definitely.
A real difference, Playing with two up top makes a massive difference to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. I'm sure he will tell you it's a lot easier to play up top when you've got a strike partner with you. And I could see him going on to get 15, near 20 goals this season if the team keeps performing,
if they keep putting
that ball in there. Because, Everton have got some real good players. And with a manager like Ancelotti, I see him only going from strength to strength.
Brilliant. So first up is Arsenal, then United, Chelsea, and that shower across the park. Is this going to be, these next 4 games, going to be a big test of how far Everton have come since bringing in Carlo Ancelotti and Duncan?
Without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. Look, it's you're taking on a lot of the teams where you don't really get the points. I know Everton beat Manchester United heavily last season at Goodison, which was fantastic, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But normally over the period, Everton tend to struggle against the big sides. So this is a real test of Carlo Ancelotti and the team's form, if you like, because you want to continue the form. You want to really get into Europe because you're that close. Could you even challenge for a Champions League spot? Well, your form guy says, yes, you can. So I don't see why Everton can't do that right now. But these next few games are going to be the key to where Everton are in the shake-up come the end of the season, for sure.
Yeah. Well, all right, well, I know you're pushed for time, Kev. You're really busy today, so I'll just go through last bit now. 1996 was the last time we beat Arsenal. Yeah. That was at Ivy.
Yeah.
Since then, they've had different new managers come in, new ground, new players, and we still haven't got rid of that hoodoo that's been over us in over 20 years, 24 years. Unbelievable. Yeah. Something's got to give. Don't you think? Do you think this team is capable of actually getting a result? Because I went to Arsenal last season.
Yeah.
And I thought we were really unlucky. We pushed on them, just couldn't get that breakthrough. And I think that with Calvert-Lewin, the way he's playing now, to what he was playing last season, where he was getting in the box but wasn't putting it away, I think we're capable of getting something tomorrow.
Just like I always say, I look at the form guide as one judge, and on the form guide, Everton have got a real chance of getting something out of this game. That's for sure. And a lot of the time, it depends what Arsenal turn up. If it's the Arsenal that turned up in the first half against Newcastle,
that's what I'm hoping for.
You know, a lot of Blues are hoping for that. If that's the case, Everton fancy their chances to win the game. Yeah. Never mind, get something out of the game to win it.
Yeah.
The second half, Arsenal turn up, then it's going to be very difficult. I've said all this week that I think the history says Arsenal are going to win the game. The form going says Everton going to get something. I think Arsenal are going to shade it 2-1, but it would not surprise me if Everton won the game, because how they use Calvert-Lewin and Richarlison, or if Richarlison's going to play wide and Moise Keane's going to play, I'm not sure what the team's going to be. But I think if Everton go positive, that could be a real positive result for outcome for Everton. If they don't do that, I think Arsenal might just shade it. So I said 2-1, but it wouldn't surprise me if Everton got something out of the game. Look, this is a game I can't lose. I never lose
exactly.
this game. You know, Everton won at Goodison last season. I was pleased. You know, Arsenal could win, and I'd still be pleased. Obviously, I'd be a bit disappointed for Everton, but if Everton win, I'd still be happy. So, all good.
All good. Brilliant, Kev. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you're really busy, so we'll let you go shortly. Just make sure everyone's liking and subscribing to the channel. I'm still overwhelmed here. I've got up early to speak to Kevin Campbell. This is boss. Kev, hopefully we'll see you soon back in Kirby for another night. Last year was absolutely superb.
Well, hopefully you invite me again. And Dave, look after yourselves and hi to everybody. All the best to the Blues. Oh,
sorry, Kev. Just before I let you go, I realised I wrote this down. I just wanted to. I'm sure you'll join me in this. I want to say a big congratulations to Speedo Mick on reaching his £250,000 target for this war from Land's End to John Groats. He's nearly there. I think he's got a couple of days left.
Yeah, listen, Speedo Mick, I've always followed him and fancied, like what he's doing. Fancied supporting him, which is fantastic. Speedo, keep going, mate. All the best. Fantastic. You're doing a brilliant job. All the Blues love you. We love you.
Right, that's it, Kev. I'll let you go, mate. But thank you so much for joining us, and speak to you soon.
No problem, Dave. See you guys. See everyone.
Up to Toffees. See you in a bit.
The Blues. Go up. Bye.
Brilliant, Kev. Nice one. So I'll edit all this bit out, but yeah, that was fantastic. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Dave.
All right, mate. I'll let you go. Take care and I'll speak